The Lance-Deebo connection. It's off. If you saw today, every time Trey Lance threw to Deebo, something bad happened. Intercepted, tipped, intercepted. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because Deebo was gone all off season and the time together isn't there and they just need more time together. That's probably part of it. Deebo's been gone and Lance has been working with other guys. But I can't help but notice that Deebo is tipping a lot of passes, getting his hands on a lot of Lance passes and not bringing them in. You could call them drops or you could say they're errant throws, but it doesn't seem like they're a real good fit for each other. Now, Deebo's a really good player, but of all the elite wide receivers in the league, and he is an elite wide receiver. Of all the elite wide receivers in the NFL, he has the worst hands, the least reliable hands. And now he's going from a quarterback who throws a soft, feathery pass to a quarterback who throws a heavy, hard fastball that wobbles. And it's not necessarily working right now. Lance can catch, Ayuk can catch the ball, and he has long arms. So if Lance's ball placement is off a little bit, which it can be sometimes, a little high, a little behind, a little low, Deebo just doesn't have the hand-eye coordination and the arm length to really bail out Lance the way Kittle does, Ayuk does. So with Jimmy G, you could get the ball to Deebo behind the line of scrimmage on the quick slants and the in cuts. Well, if you're throwing in cuts with Lance, I don't want to throw that to Deebo because Lance tends to miss high, and Deebo will just tip it to his safety. You're throwing that in cut, I want it to be someone who has really long arms like Ayuk, or is 6'5" like George Kittle, or 6'3" like Jawan Jennings. Not Deebo, not with Lance, not yet. So that takes that out of that takes out the intermediate throws, unless Deebo's going to win on the deep out. And Lance hasn't been hitting that one either. So you got the slants, but I don't know. Lance's strength isn't exactly the quick release. So to me, it seems like the way they're going to be getting the ball to Deebo is as a running back, as a glorified punt returner, on those screens and behind the line of scrimmage stuff, and then play action deep shots. But not up the sideline, because he isn't winning those either, like the deep crossing routes with the bootleg. We saw him catch a couple of those for touchdowns last year from Lance. And that's great. I just think there's going to be less ways they can get him the ball this year, just because the fit between him and Lance is not a natural one. I don't know. Maybe they'll work it out in the next 3 weeks, but right now it's not working, the connection. Like Lance's best connections so far right now are Kittle, Ayuk, Deebo, in that order. Then Ray. So that's not good. But on the same time, let's be frank. The Niners win when Deebo plays running back. Anything he gives the team as a wide receiver is bonus. Sorry. They've won playoff games with him not really contributing much as a wide receiver. He needs to play running back. Elijah Mitchell, not healthy. Unless Jordan Mason just takes over and becomes Arian Foster right away, they need Deebo to be one hell of a running back this year. So he can do it. Trey has bad days after days off. It seems to. Maybe he just loses his groove or his rhythm or whatever. Hero Winchester says, if the rookie guards are as good as reported, does it give you more confidence in this O-line? If so, how do you compare this O-line from last year's? Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. But yeah, I didn't expect these two guards to emerge. When I picked the Niners to go 9-8, I thought the guards were going to be Aaron Banks and Daniel Brunskill, and I wasn't impressed. But now it looks like they're going to be Jason Poe and Spencer Burford, and those guys both have played really well this offseason. So I guess it's going to be more about the center spot and the right tackle spot. We'll see. Still, I feel like there's still 4 question marks on this offensive line, but the 2 guard spots the answers to the question could be positive. Not sure about center and right tackle. So maybe 2 question marks left. That's good. Better than 4.